Hi, this is Mark from LongIslandWatch.com. I got a little bit of a different setup today. I'm actually going to be doing, I think it's what's going to be my first on-camera interview with somebody else. Studio's not really set up for a two-person exchange, but I'm not going to go build a whole backdrop, just to kind of do this. So today I'm going to be interviewing Ryan. Ryan's been working for me for about a year and a half at this point, but more importantly, I'm bringing him on because he was the guy that thought of the Northport design that I'm wearing, and we'll get to wrist shots in a second. So I thought we'd bring him on. A lot of you have definitely been interchanging emails with him and talking to him online. I thought just a little perspective to see where he comes from. You guys can meet him, do an interview for a couple of minutes, and it should be fun. So it's like a game show. I will bring him out now. Ta-da, presto. Here he is. This is Ryan. Ryan. Boom. Northport activate. So I've known Ryan for a long time, so let's just get into a little background first. So let's just kind of talk about how we met really quick. Ooh. So shoot.
So we met probably 15 years ago, or maybe a little more?
Let's see. I was thinking about this morning.
Okay.
Okay, so my first son was born in 2006. Okay. My wife was pregnant. We went down. My uncle had a place in Puerto Rico. So it has to be, I think it's more than probably about 17 years or something like that.
It's been a while.
Yeah. So anyway, continue with that whole thing. Go ahead.
Right. So Mark and I met many moons ago over at BAE Systems.
Yeah.
We were co-workers in the aerospace defense industry.
Yep.
Before that, I was born and raised in Puerto Rico.
Right. Yeah.
And grew up there, a lot of time on the beach, surfing, and spending a lot of evenings there and during the days. Went to school at Boston University, got my degree in engineering, industrial manufacturing engineering.
Okay.
Did an internship at BAE up in New Hampshire for a little bit there.
I actually did not know that.
Yes, did
really?
an internship there. Did my senior capstone project up there.
Okay.
So we were up in Nashua.
Yeah, I spent a lot of time up there.
Ooh. And then worked for Pepsi for about a
year.
That I knew. Did a little sales and marketing there, Pepsi Bottling Group. Worked there for about a year and a half. And then I went back to BAE in Greenlawn, and that's where we met. So, dabbled a little bit in the manufacturing aspect of you guys would design it.
Right. And then you throw it over the wall.
You throw it over the wall.
And you guys make it.
I'd catch it.
Yeah.
And then we would hopefully build it, zero defects, Six Sigma,
all those.
All that
all those buzzwords from the industry, which luckily now in this industry, those buzzwords don't really exist. And it's funny because you kind of bring them up sometimes, and I'm like, dude, we're not DSSM here.
Root cause corrective action.
Yeah. CNDs.
Quality council.
Yeah,
CND.
exactly. That stuff doesn't happen. But what was kind of funny was that, with the Puerto Rico thing, where my uncle lived was like right down the block from where you went to high school.
When I grew up, where I was born and everything.
Crazy.
So
that was nuts.
Maybe our paths crossed even back then.
Oh my God, can you imagine? Crazy. So you've been here like since October of 2020. I brought you on as kind of customer service, help me out, right-hand stuff, and then you kind of evolved into taking, like you text me and email me at night saying, hey Mark, look at this design, and what do you think of this? So you've done other designs before the Northport, right? But this one I think is a real one that has kind of your identity built into it, an Islander identity. So if you could just kind of walk us through what you were thinking of with this watch, and did it do what you wanted it to do?
Okay, so I remember we were sitting down and we were just having this candid conversation. I was thinking to myself, I think it's time we release a diver with a slightly better movement, a little thinner.
Right.
Kind of encompassing all the things we've learned in the past few years.
Right, sure.
And what people have been asking for.
Right.
And let's try to make a ripple in the waters. So I figured I wanted to do a watch that embodies being on the beach. Kind of like you look at your wrist and you're like, wow, it takes me back.
Right.
So I first started off with more of a traditional solid color dial, ceramic insert, 3-link bracelet.
Right.
Kind of more of a standard version, but I guess more of a familiar version. And then I wanted to venture off and do something a little different.
Right.
We went with the 5-link bracelet, went with a gradient dial.
Right.
And those to me were colors that I always signify as, you know, the different looks of the ocean and the beach and different times of the day. And
right.
Stuff, so.
And you went full brush on the bracelet, which is like kind of a new move, I guess, for us. Not a big move, but it's just definitely different, right?
Slightly better clasp.
Yeah, upgraded clasp. We did four dial colors, right?
4 dial colors, right?
Oh yeah, they're right here. I'm
right
sorry.
Here.
So we did the black. Go ahead.
So we had the black dial, we had the blue dial, and then we had started going into the gradients. We had a purple to black, and then a seafoam to white.
And ironically, this one sold out in
a few hours.
Yeah, a couple hours, and that's the one we made the least of.
It happens to be my favorite one out of the bunch. But,
well, that's my favorite. But this is definitely everyone keeps asking you for that one. And ironically, we made the most black, and that's the slowest seller. Because we always think everybody always wants black, but I guess in this case, they like the gradient. So any other ideas that you had that you're like, oh, maybe we can do something next time, or something else that maybe you wanted to try out?
Right. So going into some future designs that we're thinking of.
Yeah.
I wanted to dive into maybe different materials. Dive into. Yeah, you caught that. And I wanted to also showcase some of the rubber straps that we have, the FKM rubber straps. I think they're really nice.
They sure are, yeah.
So I wanted to incorporate a little bit of that, you know, different familiar styles partially, maybe different colors, maybe a new take on some different things. So,
okay.
Just wait to see. There's a bunch of stuff in the pipe.
Some more divers. Anything non-diver that you want to talk about? I obviously know. Is there anything you want to say?
Yeah, there's an interesting design that's coming out next. It's kind of familiar as well, but more a smaller case footprint.
Okay.
That might lend itself to other demographics and folks that are interested in Islander watches.
Okay.
Not necessarily a dive watch per se. Yeah, we have a bunch of things down in the hopper right now as we speak.
When you think of designing a watch and just everything that comes with it, what do you think is most important? Whether it be a specification, like it's got to be this kind of a movement or better, or it's got to be this kind of crystal, or it's got to what hits your mind at top? I know it hits my mind at the top, but I'm curious what hits you at the top.
I think it's overall.
Okay.
I want to be able to provide something beyond anyone's expectations, for a price point that they would say there's no way you can do it at that price point.
Right.
Kind of give them a full package, and that's kind of what we tried to do here.
Oh yeah.
The Northport was let's give everything we can.
Right.
To the consumer.
Right.
So that was my biggest challenge, and I really think we hit the mark. Yeah,
so for sure, because like I said, it was sold out, nearly sold out.
Very close.
Purple's nearly sold out.
Very close to sold out.
Will be soon, and this one will have until probably next millennia.
Please buy the black one, guys.
Hey, anything else you want to add, say, or?
So I just wanted to say that going forward. I have an email address at ryan@longislandwatch.com.
And I'll put it down below in case people forget.
And I just want to reach out and make sure that, I hear the customers and we're listening to a lot of different things. So if you guys have some ideas or, drop me a line.
Yeah, first, because I'd say for at least, so I've been doing Islander now for September 2019. So it's oh my God, 3 years soon. Yeah, 3 years soon. But I've been listening to customers for like 20 years, right? And that's like where everything for the brand came from, is listening to what people say. Right. So now that you're going to be helping out and doing more design work, just makes the most sense to stop pestering the sales email box with stuff. No, never a pester. But then Ryan's the one that's going to percolate all the ideas.
Right, and actually, so one more other thing for all the YouTube people out there also that want to review and demo watches.
Oh yeah, that's a good point. Good point.
Come reach out to me directly, and I will work with you for different watches.
Yeah, I've said before, we have a demo stack.
Yes, it keeps growing.
We have a demo stack that's really large, and what's great about the demo stack is that, so there was discontinued models in there too.
Yes.
And every so often people are like, oh, do you still have an ISL whatever, 03? I'm like, Ryan, do we have a demo ISL 03? And we flip up. We do, and then
they get a bargain.
Deal of the century. Yeah, but that's about it. I appreciate you taking the time, although it's out of my work day and your work day, so we're going to get back to work now. But that's about it. Thank you so much. Pleasure.
Thank you for having me, Mark.
And we'll see more of Ryan in the future. I guess you guys will want to do that. And have a good one. Take care.
All right, thank you.
Bye-bye.